visited here since the 1980s. All I know about the country is that it's an Islamic police state, and everyone here is a child of the Sahara. For centuries, the vast desert formed an impregnable fortress between Africa and Europe. The European colonist ships preferred to sail straight on past it. It wasn't until the late 19th century that the French dared to dream of a railroad cutting straight through it. The French colonel who was sent out to survey the area never returned. He was killed by Tuareg nomads. The Sahara shows no mercy to strangers, but in the end, the railroad was built. The Sahara awaits me. The train with which the French wanted to prove their mastery over the desert is still the best way to get to eastern Mauritania. If you can't pay the fare, you travel in the goods wagons, meant for iron ore. If you want a bit more luxury, you will have to fight for a seat.
من تذكر جيران بذي سلم مسجت دمعا
Il y a des gens même là, hein?
Oui, il y a des gens là-bas.
هبت الريح من
C'est la troisième classe là.
Il y a beaucoup de vent.
Mensen die zitten gewoon in de kolenwagons. Dus dat is dan de derde klas van deze trein. En ik denk dat dit dan de tweede klas is. Ici c'est la deuxième classe. Deuxième classe ici.
C'est première classe.
Oh, c'est première classe. Oh, dit is de eerste klas. Hè? De deuxième est là. Oké, dus we zitten hier op de beste plaats. Ongelooflijk. Moet je kijken hoe lang dat ding is.
They say this is the longest train in the world. 3 miles of wagons. It holds tons of steel and throws you about like a tanker in a storm.
Jesus! Oh. Presque tombé, hein? C'est dangereux. Vous allez où?
Je pars à Zouerat.
Zouerat. Et c'est loin?
650 kilos.
Et ça fait combien d'heures?
À peu près 18 heures.
18 heures?
Normalement.
18 heures au train?
18 heures.
Et est-ce que donc c'est le plein désert là?
Oui, bien sûr.
Ouais.
C'est le train du Sahara, ça.
Ah.
C'est joli, plus que les deux villes.
Ik heb je. Suiker met thee, dan thee met suiker. C'est beaucoup de sucre, hein? Très sucré. Très sucré.
C'est bon?
C'est bon? C'est bon pour la santé?
Bien sûr.
Oui?
Bien sûr.
C'est mieux. Merci. Party. Au revoir. Bon voyage.
This must be Sahara Station. The desert sand is like the platform. But if I want to learn more about life in the desert, I'll have to let the train go. The thing about traveling in foreign parts is that you can't place what you see. You're lacking the codes, the secret language, known only to the locals. The author V.S. Naipaul called this the enigma of the arrival. When you arrive at a place you've never visited before, it's like you're blind to a lot of things you see. And that's exactly the way I feel in Mauritania, the land of the Moors. Although in minority, the white Moors reign here over the black Moors. In hoping to understand a bit more about the country, I pay a visit to a young artist who has lived here all his life.
C'est qui?
C'est Bilal. C'est un descendant d'esclaves qui était libéré en 2002. La peinture, ouais.
Mais ça veut dire qu'il y a encore l'esclavage en Mauritanie?
Ouais, il y a encore l'esclavage, malheureusement.
Mais parce que quand je parle d'esclavage, j'ai des images il y a 200 années, hein, avec les hommes qui vont en bateau en Amérique.
L'esclavage, pour moi, c'est quand tu gardes la personne et tu lui traites comme un esclave.
Et ça veut dire quoi?
Ça veut dire la personne, tu lui payes pas, il travaille forcément pour toi. La personne, il ne va pas à l'école, il n'est pas libre, de lui-même. Et selon ce qu'il a dit, il avait dit en 2002, il a cherché à être libre, mais ils l'ont amené aux prisons, ils l'ont un peu puni à cause de sa révélation.
Puni?
Ouais.
Comment?
C'est-à-dire, on lui met dans la prison, on lui frappe.
Et les femmes là?
Celle-là a été libérée en 2013, je crois.
2013?
Ouais.
C'est récemment?
Ouais.
Et c'est facile d'y parler en Mauritanie? Est-ce que tu peux parler de ce sujet librement?
En Mauritanie, l'esclavage est tabou, donc...
Ça n'existe pas, officiellement?
Ouais, ça n'existe pas. Ils disent que ça n'existe pas.
This vast expanse of the Sahara fills me with awe. Here I realize that I'm merely a spoiled child of our consumer society. Those able to survive here are clearly made of stronger stuff than I am. The loneliness of the deep desert, where time seems to have stopped, is so far removed from all the mudcons of the big cities.
Votre voisin, ils sont où?
هذا هم يقولوا انهم مادام متفرقين هون الشيء هذا هو هون الشيء هذا هو اله.
Combien de kilomètres? 5 kilos?
5 kilos, 4 kilos.
Et lui, il est famille aussi?
من هذا ولدنا أحمد.
Il est Touareg?
C'est vrai. Oui.
Et il vit avec vous pour longtemps.
له ياسر هون. له عمان يشتغل هون. 10 والله الحين.
I had imagined all sorts of things about life in the desert. In vain, as it turns out, as my preconceived ideas get short shrift.
Vous savez, c'est quelle date aujourd'hui?
اليوم
A pleasant good morning to you and a warm welcome to News Hour. I am Esther Sacco. Coming up, ECOWAS Parliament provides feeding support to survivors of drug-induced psychosis at Susan's Bay community. Consumer Watch Sierra Leone Limited officially certifies its officers after nationwide capacity building trainings. And Sento Koma, a blind mother of 3, receives life-changing philanthropic support in part through the voice of the SLBC. These stories and many more are lined up in this edition of News Hour. Stay with us. Welcome back to News Hour. We're getting one of our top stories. As part of support in a fight against drug and substance abuse prevalent among young people in the country, and in conclusion of its working visits to Sierra Leone, members of ECOWAS Parliament have provided rice and seed money meant for the purchase of other cooking condiments to survivors of drug-induced psychosis at Susan's Bay community. Dennis Fraser reports.
The community outreach by members of the ECOWAS Parliament was in line with the ECOWAS Parliament work through the Ministry of Youth Affairs in order to provide psychosocial support to affected persons of drugs and substance abuse at Susan's Bay community. The framework was a proactive measure to curb drug addiction and also to support the government's efforts in curbing drugs and substance abuse by some young people. Lawmakers from the ECOWAS Parliament were visiting the densely populated slum of Susan's Bay community through the help of former users of psychoactive drugs and substances in order to track those still abusing harmful substances and to provide psychosocial support for them.
We are going today with 25 bags of 25 kg. We strong envelope, cooking, one of the best classes for you. What did they tell you now? One of the get more energy was performed. They were not now quite push. Always ECOWAS Parliament of Africa now. Not always reserve of Africa now. Not always minister of Africa now. Then they can everybody get for left now. Now una the battle in our life. Now una the suffer now. Why una not go correct una self?
Members of the delegation reiterated their commitment to supporting member states through coordinated parliamentary actions and evidence-based advocacy. Through social linkages for youth development, the mission will continue its outreach to communities in other subsequent visits, all geared towards intensifying the fight against the use of drugs and harmful substances. SLBC, Dennis Fraser reporting.
In a remarkable step towards enhancing consumer protection across the country, Consumer Watch Sierra Leone Limited has officially certified its officers following a series of nationwide capacity building trainings. The certification ceremony took place at the Rokel Fireforce compound in the western area, with officers from across the country in attendance. Aminata Bangura has more on that story.
The certification is the result of a series of strategic training sessions and interventions carried out by Consumer Watch SL Limited in collaboration with several national institutions. The officers who underwent extensive training in key consumer protection areas received 2 certificates each, validating their expertise and readiness to serve their communities as trained Consumer Watch officers. These officers are now strategically positioned throughout the country to advocate for consumer rights, monitor the market, and educate the public on safe, fair, and responsible consumption. The CEO of Consumer Watch SL Limited, Mr. Sonny Rogers, stated that the purpose of the gathering was to certify their officers who have undergone a series of trainings in 2023, 2024, and 2025 in collaboration with various government institutions. These trainings focused on consumer rights interests, the promotion of fair market practices, and improving overall consumer satisfaction. He added that the responsibility of the newly certified Consumer Watch officers is to go out into their communities and apply the knowledge and skills they have acquired during the training.
To showcase to the public that they are capable and they believe that the training that they have gone through will create an impact.
Momo Kaikai, Assistant Director of Standards and Compliance at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, who served as the chairperson of the program, stated that the focus of the directorate is to help develop the national quality infrastructure in the country. He added that they work in collaboration with relevant agencies to ensure consumer safety, protect consumer interests, and guarantee that consumers receive quality in all commodities they purchase.
In a nutshell, we are there to ensure that we protect consumers generally through our intervention by the developing policies and engaging our line agencies and their partners to ensure those policies are implemented.
One of the newly certified officers, Elisha Tarawali, expressed confidence in carrying out his new responsibilities and pledged to promote consumer safety in his community. With the certification of these officers, Consumer Watch SL Limited has renewed its commitment to build a responsible and consumer-aware nation, ensuring that the voices of vulnerable consumers are heard and protected. SLBC, Aminata Bangura reporting.
The mandate of the state broadcaster is to give voice to the voiceless, a platform through which Sento Koroma, a blind mother of 3, has received support from philanthropists for welfare and that of her children. Cynthia Kamara followed up on that story.
It all started in 2023 when a mother of 3, a 34-year-old woman, Sento Koroma, came to the SLBC seeking for support. Her presence did not just represent a visual impairment, but the empathy that surrounds giving birth to a blind child. Among the constraints that Sento listed were inadequate accommodation and hunger among many.
They help me be a sad, be a mom. Me, I know they see mama don't die, papa don't die.
A year after her plea, a devoted human interest reporter at the SLBC, Nendewa Toronka, stood as an advocate that facilitated her welfare. Through active advocacy on one of SLBC's flagship program, Wayus, Sierra Network, Kida Farm, and an undisclosed philanthropist chipped in, through which they achieved at renovating and furnishing a previous house and provided her foodstuffs and clothing. This was how a former residence, which was not just a death trap but lacked sanitation, looked like for the past years. But through the support of humanitarian people and the media, this is what our house has turned into, giving Sento another chance to live and a sense of belonging.
It's so beautiful. Yeah, I fix you.
Yes. Being a celebrity. Yes.
Celebrity Sento.
I sleep no more. I thank God I don't know heaven.
Even as Sento is appreciative of her transformation, she is pleading for a retaining wall to prevent flooding as the rain intensifies. The beneficiary Sento is appreciative to the SLBC for making their platform available through which her life and that of her children have been revived. For SLBC News, Cynthia Kamara reporting.
I'm glad he made Jesus save me. If he not save me for Jesus, now Messiah got day. I'm glad he made Jesus save me. You don't put me in a bush.
An overnight fire in Tombo, a coastal town in western rural district, has left several residents homeless and destroyed property worth thousands of limbs. While no casualties have been reported, the cause of the fire remains unknown. Authorities say investigations are currently on the way. Aminata Fofana has more on that story.
According to eyewitnesses, the fire broke out late at night while most residents were asleep. Thick dark smoke was seen curling from several homes, prompting panic and chaos as residents scrambled to safety.
There was a small sister and then within our process with this fire take place. But like waiting the lights because the fire now they are only able to explain the way waiting lead to that experience that we have the way the gospel exploring.
Victims of the incident, some in tears, recounted the terrifying moments they were awoken by smoke and heat. Many say they had no idea how the blaze started and were left with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Community leaders expressed deep concern over the recurring nature of such incidents in Tombo. Though relieved that no lives were lost, they emphasized the need for increased vigilance, especially during the rainy season when the electrical faults and unsafe appliance use can easily spark fires. Residents have been urged to take precautionary measures in their homes, including proper maintenance of electrical appliances and awareness of fire hazards. This marks yet another reminder of the vulnerability of informal settlements to fire disasters and the urgent need for stronger fire safety education and preparedness in the community. SLBC News, Aminata Fofana.
Traders and customers at the popular Dovecourt Market are struggling with worsening conditions caused by the rain. The lack of proper drainage has left the area muddy, slippery and almost impassable. Our reporter Slbc Tv visited the market and brings us this report.
The raining season has once again turned the busy Dovecourt Market into a muddy mess, making life increasingly difficult for traders and customers alike. Despite many years of complaints, little has been done to improve the drainage or maintain the road in a proper condition. The market, located near the heart of the capital, is a major trading hub for various food and everyday items. But during the rains, the lack of proper drainage means water pools in the walkways, turning them into slippery, muddy paths that are hard to navigate. Khadija Kabia, a trader at the market, explained that the muddy conditions make it very difficult for customers to walk through. To make the road passable, the traders often have to get stones and place them on the ground to raise the walkway. She also noted that many traders face health problems due to standing in the mud for long hours, stating that when they return home, they usually have to use ointment to ease the pain and discomfort in their feet.
We can buy stones them or put them.
For customers to pass through, we usually have to get stones and place them on the ground. We also suffer, as most times when we get home, we use ointment on our feet to relieve the discomfort.
Another
trader, Salima Tukabo, said the rain causes the area to become very muddy, and this makes the life hard for traders. She explained that many of them suffer from cold and often fall sick. During heavy rains, they have to lift their goods and keep their feet raised until the water goes down. She also appealed to the government to help improve the condition of the market.
When it rains, we are left with no choice but to raise our goods and feet until the water goes down. We are appealing to the government, especially council, to address this issue for us.
They beg the government, let them make for with this road here.
According to a buyer, Kadiatu Bangura, walking through the market is difficult because the mud is thick and heavy, which often causes their rain boots to get damaged.
They affect you, but so they wear boots.
It is difficult for us. Our rain boots get damaged because of the heavy mud.
The poto in weights.
The muddy state of Dovecourt Market remains a challenge for traders and buyers. Many are calling on government to step in and improve the condition to make the market safer and more accessible.
In a bid to raise awareness and promote public health, the Armed Forces Wives Cooperative Society has organized a sensitization campaign on Mpox in Freetown. The initiative aims to educate communities on the symptoms, prevention and control of the disease, particularly for soldier wives who are petty traders. Esther Nene Kamara reports.
The Armed Forces Wives Cooperative Society has intensified efforts to curb the spread of Mpox in Sierra Leone through a community-focused awareness campaign. The sensitization drive, which targets vulnerable communities within military barracks and surrounding areas, highlights the importance of early detection, hygiene practices, and timely medical intervention in managing the disease. President of the Armed Forces Wives Cooperative Society, Asanatu Saubangura, emphasized the need for women and caregivers to be at the forefront of health education, especially in households. She noted that misinformation and stigma often prevent affected individuals from seeking help early, thereby increasing the risks of transmission.
The key thing for me about this Mpox is purely about how to take care of your hygiene. It's purely hygiene consciousness. You should be conscious of hygiene. You know, you should know how to take care of your environment, how to clean your environment. Because this Mpox, if you are not in the habit of, cleaning your environment, definitely you will get in contact with it.
Health experts from the 34 military hospital support the outreach by offering education on the causes, prevention, and answering questions, noting that Mpox can be easily transmitted through sexual intercourse. Participants Fati Warite and Fatmata Dumbuya expressed their appreciation for the knowledge gained on the virus. They noted that they had no idea on the dangers of Mpox.
As for me, I've learned a lot. One of the experiences I made so far is, in terms of, because people are saying that you only have Mpox on sexual transmitted disease. I mean sexually. But I have already made that it's not only sexual, but good to cleaning of environment, and also sweating can cause mpox.
Mpox is a zoonotic viral disease that presents with fever, rash, and swollen lymph nodes. It can be transmitted from animals to humans and also between people through close contact. While the disease is generally self-limiting, severe cases can occur particularly in children and adults. For Slbc News, Estanene Kamara reporting.
For over 2 decades, a powerful movement has been transforming the lives of women in Freetown. Jesus is Lord Ministries is celebrating 24 years of its annual Notable Women Gathering, a conference that has empowered thousands and brought together about remarkable change. Our reporter Esther Susanette Bassi was there and now reports.
For 24 years, under the visionary leadership of Apostle Dora Doumbouya, the founder and head pastor of Jesus is Lord Ministries, thousands of women have found solace, strength, and renewed purpose at the annual Notable Women Gathering. This unique conference has become a beacon of hope, changing personal narratives and uplifting those who once thought less of themselves. The gathering attracts women from all walks of life, including those in positions of authority, all coming together under one roof. One of the women's leader, Pastor Agnes Sise, spoke on the essence of the event, noting it is a life-changing experience for women in all facets of life.
This na Apostle Dora Doumbouya, God give the vision for this women's program.
This 24th Notable Women started through the vision of Apostle Dora Doumbouya under the theme, The Woman God Has Chosen. The event is aimed at transforming the lives of women across Sierra Leone. God has truly changed and transformed women whose lives were shattered and demonically tortured. This conference is a testament to his power.
Many women through in life, God don't give them testimonies.
Guest speaker, Prophetess Comfort Komba, emphasized the profound blessings bestowed upon women, highlighting their intrinsic importance to God since the very beginning of mankind. The woman God has chosen. Her message resonated deeply, reinforcing the inherent value and divine purpose of every woman present.
And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. Hallelujah. The troubles of life, the difficulties, the discouragements, God will encourage me and you say, when they pass through the water of afflictions, He never left you there.
Present. This 24th Notable Women Gathering stands as a powerful testament to faith, community, and the enduring power of transformation. For Slbc News, Esther Susanette Bassi reporting.
The Labourers Brotherhood successfully concluded its month-long 27th anniversary celebration under the theme Together We Grow, Strengthen Nature's Fabric. The series of vibrant and impactful events brought together generations of locksters and well-wishers in a united show of brotherhood, resilience, and growth. Jonathan Turner reports.
Kicking off with a campus cleaning exercise at the shores of Oyel and tree planting exercise at Gumadamp in Mile 13. The celebration highlighted the Brotherhood's commitment to environmental stewardship and community responsibility. Members further demonstrated their strength and unity during an energetic hiking expedition, reconnecting with nature and each other in a spirit of collective adventure. The festive spirit continued with the colorful Gara Day, showcasing traditional attire and cultural pride, followed by the Juma prayer. reflecting the brotherhood's spiritual depth and unity in faith. Cambo Nights lit up the celebration with laughter, dance and storytelling, a true homage to Liberals' rich heritage. One of the most anticipated events of the anniversary was the electrifying inter-batch gala, where past and present members competed in a friendly yet spirited showdown, celebrating camaraderie and healthy competition.
As part of the 27th anniversary gala, the Liberator is taking the official kick for this match between Spancho.
The Thanksgiving church service served as a reflective moment of gratitude and a celebration of the enduring bond that defines the Liberals' brotherhood.
To mark our Thanksgiving service, of course, the essence of this Thanksgiving is to thank God for His continued grace, love, protection, and guidance to the Liberals' brotherhood and its membership. Of course, Liberals Brotherhood is a fraternity which respects both religions. Of course, we have done same weeks ago for the Muslim brothers who are part of the Brotherhood. And today again, we are here for the Christian side.
As the 27th anniversary celebration comes to a close, the echoes of unity, energy and dedication continue to resonate among members. The Liberals Brotherhood stands not only as a beacon of friendship and tradition, but as a growing force dedicated to strengthening the very fabric of nature and society. For SLBC News, Jonathan Turner reporting.
The regional manager, South Action Aid Sierra Leone, Desmond Kane, said a joint study conducted by UNICEF and Irish Aid indicates that 61% of primary school teachers are trained, and across the entire teaching workforce, nearly one-third remain unqualified. He was speaking during the handing over of tuition fees and other support to 20 untrained and unqualified teachers from Kalbo and Temidali chiefdoms in Moyamba district at the Teaching Service Commission Office, Moyamba. Harold Williams has more from a regional manager in Bo.
Network support for peace education and Action Aid Sierra Leone are supporting 20 untrained and unqualified teachers who are from deprived communities in the Kagboro and Temidele chiefdoms who are already pursuing teacher certificates and higher teacher certificates through distance learning at the Freetown Polytechnic Institute. Regional Manager South Action Aid Sierra Leone Desmond Kane indicated that a significant challenge faced in the education sector is the need for the affairs of teachers to be in tandem with the massive growth and development of the sector, adding that teacher quality is waning, thereby undermining the delivery of quality education, while the increase in enrollment resulting from the free quality education meant that more schools and teachers are required. He said these issues are compounded in rural areas where there are higher numbers of unqualified and volunteer teachers, adding that ActionAid Sierra Leone will intensify its advocacy drive and work with its partners to address this challenge in order to enhance quality education.
One key issue or one key pillar in our strategy is the issue about education. So we are here today to support teachers so we can get children to have access, so we can also get the children to retain in school, and we get them to complete their basic education so they will serve as promising kids within their various communities. The resources are small, but if you look at what ActionAid is doing in all industries we are working, you realize that we are investing so much when it comes to education. I am appealing to every teacher here that whatever has been the situation, when you complete your studies, ensure you serve the community at least for 5 good years.
Executive Director Network Support for Peace Education, George Benga, said the support of 86,000 leons is meant to address tuition fees, serve as motivational allowance, NCTVA fees, and admission fees, adding that this support was provided through ActionAid Sierra Leone sponsorship funds. He noted that the effect of unqualified teachers can lead to disruption in the academic performance of pupils in schools, especially in rural areas, and thanked ActionAid for recognizing this point. Deputy Director, Teaching Service Commission, Edmund Momon, said the mandate of the commission, as prescribed in the Act, is to manage the affairs of teachers in order to improve their professional status and economic well-being. He said both organizations have achieved the mission statement of the Commission, which is to ensure that adequate, professionally recruited, qualified, motivated, and disciplined teaching staff are available in all schools. Beneficiaries were pleased with the intervention and, while thanking both organizations for supporting them to achieve their dreams, promised to go by the Memorandum of Understanding signed.
The Office of the Administrator and Registrar General has engaged religious leaders on legal frameworks governing Christian, Muslim, civil and customary marriages in the country. According to the head of legal office of the Administrator General and Registrar General, Margaret Sumana, the engagement came as a result of challenges the office has been faced with in fulfilling criteria with religious leaders on marriage certificates.
According to the 1960 laws of Sierra Leone, it made provision for the officiating of civil, Christian, Muslim, and customary marriages in the country. According to the law, there are similarities between the civil, Christian, Muslims, and customary marriages, prescribing that marriage should be done between man and woman. They should be of correct mind and should be at the age of 18, with consent of both parties and parents, time for marriage, and many others, but also the similarities on numbers of wives, place of divorce and wedding for the aforementioned marriages, and more. According to the head of legal office of the Administrator and Registrar General, Margaret Sumana Esquire, over the years, they have found out that religious leaders have not been following the due process required not only to conducting marriages, but in filling wedding certificates, which prompted the reason of the meeting.
Over the years, we observed that the churches and the mosque have not been filling those certificates appropriately, and we also, in terms of registration, the process list has been flawed, and so as a result of that, we decided to engage the ministers, the imams, so that we can have a discussion around the registration of marriages and divorces and the processes involved, so that we can all be on the same page.
According to Daniel Johnson, Esquire, from the Office of the Administrator and Registrar General, the law made provision for marriage in absentia, stating that it will not only render the marriage invalid, but with a jail sentence if found guilty for not less than 5 years, depending on the state of the crime, such as false name, impersonation, and facetious marriages. According to Simiti Samura, Esquire, the law makes provision for registration and legal considerations looking at the process of contracting Christian, civil, and Muslim marriages, while calling for religious leaders to deliver marriage certificates at the office rather than to the marriage couple. Participants applauded this venture by the Office of the Administrator and Registrar General, adding that with what they have received, they will ensure to cascade it to their various religious gatherings, while calling for this engagement to be taken to the provinces. Moses Conte, SLBC.
It's now time for us to go in for international news.
Welcome to the international news with me, Aminata Fofana. A record number of heat alerts are in place across France as the country and other parts of southern and eastern Europe remain in the grip of soaring temperatures. Some 84 of 96 of France's mainland regions, known as departments, are currently under an orange alert, the country's second highest. France Climate Minister Agnes Pannier-Runacher has called it an unprecedented situation. Heat warnings are also in place for parts of Spain, Portugal, Italy, Germany, the UK, and Balkan countries, including Croatia. Both Spain and Portugal had their hottest June days on record at the weekend. El Granado in Andalusia saw a temperature of 46 on Saturday, while 46.6 was recorded in the town of Mora in central Portugal on Sunday. Many countries have emergency medical services on standby and are warning people to stay inside as much as possible. Nearly 200 schools across France have been closed or partially closed as a result of the heat wave, which has gripped parts of Europe for more than a week now, but it is expected to peak midweek. At least 7 people have been killed and many more injured during recent anti-government protests in Togo's capital, Lomé, according to preliminary figures provided by civic groups on Sunday. The protests were over recent constitutional reforms that could cement President Faure Gnassingbé's long constitutional hold on power. Police fired tear gas in several neighborhoods of Lomé and reportedly used batons to beat protesters. Faure Gnassingbé, who has ruled since 2005 following his father's death, was sworn in May as president of the Council of Ministers. The powerful role has no official term limit and he is eligible to be re-elected by Parliament indefinitely. Opposition politicians have denounced the move as a constitutional coup. Demonstrations are rare in Togo because they have been banned in the country since 2022 following a deadly attack at Lomé's main market. Madagascar President Andry Rajoelina arrived in Paris on Monday for discussions with French President Emmanuel Macron on the future of the long-disputed scattered islands. The 5 tiny islets, with a total area of just 43 square kilometers in the Indian Ocean, were part of Madagascar when it was a French colony. They were split off when the island nation gained independence in 1960 and Madagascar wants them back. French, however, is determined to maintain ownership of the uninhabited but strategic islands, which are protected by ecological sanctuaries. These tiny islands grant France jurisdiction over a staggering 640,000 kilometers of marine space, roughly 6% of its total maritime domain, full of fish and possible gas reserves. The trouble is that for Madagascar, they carry symbolic weight and it has long contested their detachments. United Nations votes in 1979 and 1780 agreed that the islet should be reintegrated into Madagascar. And the Yorkshire Wildlife Park, YWP, has launched an appeal to rescue 3 lions from Ukraine. The Wildlife Park in Doncaster has announced its intent to create a fund to help rescue animals impacted by war, natural disaster, or illegal captivity. The first rescue mission will be focused on Oleg and siblings Rafael and Shanti, who are all currently living in captivity in Ukraine. Siblings Rafael and Shanti were found in the Kharkiv region of Ukraine beside their dying mother, having been abandoned in a private menagerie, YWP said. According to a wildlife specialist, bringing Oleg, Rafael and Shanti to the Yorkshire Wildlife Park will be transformative for them. In 2024, the YWP rescued a lioness and 3 cubs after they were abandoned in Ukraine when the war broke out. Donations from the public helped to pay for emergency transports, vets and rehabilitation. That's the international news with me, Aminata Fofana.
thanks to Aminata Fafana for the latest in international news. We now move on to entertainment segment.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment News with me, Abdul Mansari. In this edition of Entertainment News, Deputy Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs weds a Ghanaian prince. And of course, Daniela Boima Garrick crowned as Miss Albinism Africa 2025. Now, the Deputy Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, Dr. Kaliatu Grace Kamara, has been engaged and was wed by a Ghanaian prince, Joseph Aheni, on the 27th and 28th of June 2025. The engagement and wedding ceremony was top-notch, as culture itself speaks with vibrant voices. The dress code, food, and area depicted stunning cultural pride. The engagement ceremony took off with enticing traditional dance performances from Sierra Leone cultural dancers from different groups in honoring the guests for the event. During the engagement, we saw cultural fusion and diversity, where special gifts were given to the parents and relatives of the minister by the Ghanaian father of the groom. It was a blend of Ghanaian and Sierra Leonean items, he said. The highlight of the ceremony was when the groom's father bowed down to the bride's sister just to get the bride for his son, and the unveiling of the bride by the groom.
Yes. Thank you. Be safe. Today is a day of So now,
she made a grand entrance with a black horse which symbolizes royalty. Her dress code portrayed a typical culture and rich heritage of Sierra Leone as fans, friends, family members, and well-wishers surrounded her in a joyous celebration. That was indeed a great love and culture between the two couples. And now to the wedding. The following day, guests gathered for a white church wedding at the historic New Life Ministries International. This ceremony marked a shift from the vibrant colors of the previous day to a more classic and elegant setting. Dr. Kariatu looked radiant in a stunning white wedding gown that flowered gracefully as she walked down the aisle. Traditional vows were exchanged, kissing the bride and signing of registry were also done. Following the church ceremony, a grand reception was held at the luxurious Bintumani Hotel. The reception hall was elegantly decorated with a blend of culture and modern decors. Guests enjoyed a sumptuous feast that combined traditional Ghanaian dishes with international cuisine, showcasing the couple's commitment to celebrating their diverse backgrounds. The event was filled with laughter and joy as family and friends shared heartfelt speeches and toasts to honor the couple. As the night progressed, the dance floor came alive with a mix of traditional Ghanaian music and contemporary hits.
Thank you.
Wow, the wedding is indeed a close of the week and of course a close of 2025. Congratulations to the couple and we wish you a happy marital life. And finally, Daniela Boima-Garrick, who represented Sierra Leone at the first ever Miss Albinism 2025 hosted at Zimbabwe, has been crowned winner of the competition. Her beauty, fashion style, outfits, and intelligence all combined to her winning. Congratulations, Garrick. Sierra Leone is proud of you, and we can't wait to receive you. Well, that's all we have in this edition of Entertainment News, and I've been your presenter, Abdul Mansari. Bye-bye.
From Entertainment News, we move on to Sport Updates.
Hello there and welcome along to the sporting updates that brings you the very best in sports. My name is Abdul Kabir. Now, Ramke Football Club defeated defending champions Mogbemo Queens 4-2 to ascertain their championship title. Here is the update. History is within touching distance from Ramke Football Club in a fascinating Southern derby at the Bow Coronation Field on Sunday. Ramke clinched a crucial 4-2 victory over defending champions Mogbemo Queens, a result that has all but decided the Sierra Leone Female Elite League title. The atmosphere was electric as a massive crowd of enthusiastic fans witnessed a dominant performance from Ramke. This crucial win means the club now needs just a single point from their remaining fixtures against Patricia Umo and Sierra Leone Police FC to secure their first ever championship. For Mogbemo Queens, who have proudly lifted the league trophy for the past 2 seasons, the path to a third consecutive title just became significantly more challenging. Ramke's impressive display has put them firmly in the driver's seat, and the anticipation is building as they stand on the precipice of a momentous achievement. The countdown is officially on for Ramke FC to leave their name in the history of Sierra Leonean football. In the international scene, Sierra Leone's Zainab Kumba Brahima was placed on the bench in their first match for Riga FC against Order, and they defeated Order 9-0, a massive victory for Riga FC. Sierra Leone's pioneering football talent, Kumba Zainab Brahima, who's championing at the beat of her official debut with new Latvian club, Riga Football Club. While she was placed on the reserve list for Riga FC Women's resounding 9-0 victory over Uda FC, Brahima's focus is firmly set on hitting the pitch. The Sierra Leonean star has been prepping intensely, including a rigorous training session on Saturday, noting a fascinating dedication to secure a full-blown competitive appearance. All eyes are now on the upcoming matches, with hopes of seeing Kumba making an exciting new start in the Latvian league. Among many other aspirations, the female star is hoping to achieve. Fans back home in Sierra Leone and indeed across the world will be eagerly anticipating the moment Kumba Zainab Brahima steps onto the field in a Riga FC jersey in the forthcoming UEFA Champions League, marking another significant milestone in her inspiring career. And that ends your updates. Thank you so much for your time.
Many thanks there to Abdul Kabir for that latest update in sport. Well, from there, that's how we draw the curtains of the news this morning. But before we go, a quick recap of a main point. As part of support in the fight against drug and substance abuse prevalent among young people in the country, and in conclusion of its working visit to Sierra Leone, Members of ECOWAS Parliament have provided rice and seed money meant for the purchase of other cooking condiments to survivors of drug-induced psychosis at Susan's Bay community. In a remarkable step towards enhancing consumer protection across the country, Consumer Watch Sierra Leone Limited has officially certified its officers following a series of nationwide capacity building trainings. The certification ceremony took place at the Rokel Fireforce compound in Western area, with officers from across the country in attendance. And SLBC advocacy in helping to give voice to the voiceless has resulted in St. Okoma, a blind mother of 3, receiving support from philanthropists for her welfare and that of her children. Well, that's how we wrap up this edition of news from the Slbc Broadcasting Corporation. I have been your presenter, Esther Sako. Continue to stay with the podcast at the SLBC if you can. Up next is Good Morning Sierra Leone. Have a wonderful day.
Discover Sierra Leone, a hidden gem of West Africa, where the rhythms of life dance in harmony with the beauty of nature.
Feel the heartbeat of our culture in every beat of the drum, in every step of the dance.
Experience the tranquility of our shores, where each sunrise brings new stories and endless possibilities.
Immerse yourself in the vibrant tapestry of our daily life, where every color tells a tale and every face a friend.
Come, be enchanted by the sights and sounds of Sierra Leone.
A place where your adventure awaits
And memories are made.
A place cannot produce poems. It can only not prevent them. And Freetown is good at that, for Freetown has its own sudden elegances. People are slow to leave it, quick to return. And there are others who come for a year or two and stay for a lifetime, sensing that they found a city that is in the world, yet sufficiently on the edge of it to have a different resonance. Let me tell you something about this city. All of us, we're all just passing through, and we've all been here forever. Those who came, those who stayed, those who never returned. Tides turn, seasons change, we've waited and we've watched. But we've always been here. We've always listened, because there is a different resonance here. It comes from the river, and the land, and the sky.
It's our place, all of us.
This city belongs to everyone.
And you know when it's your time.
And it's our time.
Listen, we are Freetown.
The golden rules of Freetown.
Don't pretend you're something that you're not.
Don't go thinking you're better than anyone else.
Or that anyone else is better than you.
Don't shout about it. Get on with it.
Today is Tuesday, the 1st of July 2025. This is how I welcome you to Good Morning Sierra Leone, the program that starts your day with analysis and current views that are happening in the country. We are your presenters. I am Esther Sako.
And I am Emmanuel Samuel. We want to wish everyone a happy new month. Today is the first day of July 2025. We are entering now into the second half of 2025. So 2025, it will soon come to an end.
Sure.
Okay. Our quote of the day is from French writer Luc de Clapier, and it says, "The art of pleasing is the art of deception." I go again. The art of pleasing is the art of deception. Bear that in mind.
That is deep. Well, coming up in this edition of the program, NCC pays 12 million leones into the Consolidated Revenue Fund.
Government begins the demolition of homes at the Black Johnson community.
And National Youth Commission to disperse $2.4 million among 8,000 youth nationwide. On this note, we invite you to participate in the program by sending your text message to the number displayed on your screen or send your comments on our Facebook page at SLBC Live. The program you're watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone. Stay with us.
Is Good Morning Sierra Leone live on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Well, we start the discussion proper to one of our headline story. thousands of young people across the country are expected to receive $300 cash support from the National Youth Commission as part of a new effort to boost youth-led businesses and job creation. The program, led by the National Youth Commission Commissioner Ahmed Atata Mansari, will support 8,000 youth aged 18 to 35 who either run or plan to start small household businesses. To further the discussion, we have been joined in the studio by the Commissioner himself, Ahmed Atata Mansari. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning, Sierra Leone.
Thank you. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, Manuel and Esther.
So I want you to give us just a brief background as to what brought about such a support that you are proposing to give to young people in this country.
In the very first place, this is not a new project. I would say we are not commencing it at this point in time. We've had it before. Mark you that when we had 2019 COVID in Sierra Leone, similar support was also given to young people. In fact, there was ranging between 2,000 to that of 10,000. Where young people went doing some pitching and also again, and those whose businesses were badly hit by COVID-19. The government came in and gave support. So because of that social safety support that government gave, then the World Bank also gave support to the government of Sierra Leone. And we have several institutions who are implementing partners. Of course, the Anti-Corruption Commission provides the grievance redress mechanism units of that particular project, given the fact that we are dealing with cash transfer and we know what the mentality or perception of Sierra Leoneans will be. So in the event, if you take a look at even our press release or our message that is being sent on most of our social media handles, you realize that we are very clear, even with response to how you can report, given the fact that deal with young people, especially in our own case, 8,000 is going to be a very huge number. 1,500 in Kenema, 1,500 in Bow, same in Makini and same in Port Loco, 2,000 from the western area. We have been able to get the names and the list of beneficiaries for here, for the western area, because this is something we've been on since March. It has become this way now because as we speak, since last week, Wednesday, Thursday, forms started being distributed to young people in the other regional headquarters in the provinces. So then we have realized, government have seen that it is pretty difficult for young people in Sierra Leone to own businesses. And entrepreneurship, you and I are very aware of the fact that it has been a very difficult area. Many people do not want to come into that particular area, but over the years it has become a bit attractive. This is not the very first support we are giving to young people. In fact, this I would say is a very small one, but then this one is coming because of the number. Those ones you've seen we supported from our partners, the UNDP, Aurora Foundation, GIS, and a host of others. You've been there, you've seen. We're giving them 400,000, or what you could call 400 million before this period. We are giving support to young people as far as 800, very close to 1 billion all years before. Very recently, I was in McKinney, also honoring that from our support from the International Labour Organization. That was for SMEs, those young people who can even give you charcoal briquettes and all the others. You know, those young people who can do some value addition to their local soap that they are making, like you go to Conte U in Lungi. All of these institutions have benefited from the support we give them. But then coming to this one seems to be a very big number. 8,000 is not a small number. Government, through the World Bank, decided to give this money to these young people. You see that it's some critics will look at it to be a very small amount, but it's not as well, because many of these young people you see doing certain businesses. So if you look at the entire capital that they have put together, they do not even sum up to 2,000 or 2,500 or 3,000. Yeah, we have seen that, and that is where they have been able to sustain their livelihood. And we have now realized that we need to dip in as much as it is difficult for them to access microfinance. It's difficult for them to have bank loans because of the bureaucracy surrounding that. Perhaps you graduated from university, you have not been opportune to even have a land on your own. They are asking for house documents like conveyance as a collateral. If you do not have them, that is why we have this chunk number of young people who will be seated in most of the places talking about unemployment and then not having any capital to start businesses. Okay. So we want to see how that could be pushing And that is the more reason we have now come. We are not only going for those ones who are having shops, because for Sierra Leoneans, when you tell somebody that you will do business, they think you should have a very big shop. No, we are going for those petty traders, those small boys you see on the streets, like you're moving down your traffic, those tissue paper sellers, those small boys who will, any business that can bring livelihood, change their lives. It is up to them. We have seen, we've profiled many others who benefited from us, growing from small scale business to small, medium terms, enterprises and all the rest of it. So these are the kind of people we are going to focus on.
Commissioner, when you started the conversation, you were saying this is not the first time that the Youth Commission is doing such to young people, especially small business owners. So let us know, how successful has the previous ones been?
If it has not been successful, we will not be having more support. These international partners, when they give you support for a certain project, they are not only going to give you that money and forget about you. They also have their own team members here who, let's say you are giving Esther this amount of money, Esther's biodata is being given. Now, in fact, we have scaled it up to a point that we don't just give you the resources without having any proof or trace of you. First document that you produce, one, for us to know you are within the age bracket. Two, it must have to be affixed to the form that we are going to issue to you. It's a national ID card. That is one that has certain features, especially the name, for which no two persons are going to share. So those traces, addresses, and all the rest of it, because of those monitoring and evaluation being done by previous projects, that has informed this particular support also that we are getting from government.
So, Mr. Commissioner, when you look at the set of people that you are about to give this money to, they are not people that has fixed location or fixed businesses where you meet them. These are young people that move about to ensure that they make ends meet. So we know that in Sierra Leone, always when some of these projects come up, this livelihood project, there are issues that come up. Some people will tell you that I was unable to benefit from this, and there will be complaints that will be coming up that, oh, the people that are not doing business are the ones that they gave the money. So what are the threshold, or how do you ensure to select indeed the people that should get this type of money?
Okay, fine. One of the problems or challenges in fact we are faced with initially when we started giving out these forms to these young people, our primary focus was for us to go for 1,000 young people initially, piloting. And those challenges or success stories we have will then be cascaded to Kenema, Putloko, and Makini. So from the instructions we had from the project documents, it was 600 in Freetown and 400 in Bo as pilots. So those ones, after which we would have gone to those places. But then I haven't looked at the number. More than 9, 10 to 11,000 young people applied. But then those forms have questions, and those questions also, based on the answer you give for a certain question, will lead to subsequent questions. Many, of course, we did not tell them where the catches were, and the system itself is so automated that it is not done by you, not Emmanuel, not Esther, not even ABT, not me. It is done by a system that is built. The Anti-Corruption Commission, somebody that is there, is aware of that particular portal that is being created by the World Bank. You give us the forms, they do the inputting, then it has a way of sorting itself, automated. The machine do not a weed one. So it's difficult for you to lie in those areas. And then even the area that has to say if you have a business, then you say yes. They will ask you, next question will be proof of business. They will have some few questions to then ask. So when that happens, then they'll also require you to have a kind of a character fact check. Somebody could be an imam, a nurse, a pastor in the community and all. So we have a lot of other requirements. And I must take to you that yes, we agree on the mobility aspect of these young people, because of some, I have seen people coming from Shell, selling at Lumley at night. We have taken into account consideration some of these things. There are people also, again, based on our research, who do not do businesses from Monday on to Saturday, except on Sundays. It will shock you to know that, not so? Fine. So doing that is part of our survey. And we are seeing those who do not do businesses throughout the week, except during weekends. And even during the weekend, some will say, this place where they sell, now only Sunday I got opportunity for selling, based on internal agreement between themselves and shop owners. So all of those things we are taking into account. But that's it, the way they move. And that is the reason we do not want you to leave Freetown to now go to Makeni. Because when we started initially, you have people who are doubting Thomas's. Some people never even trusted or believed the entire system. Now they have gone to CAC Holdings. This particular shortlisting and all other things were not done by the National Commission. We have hired service providers. 2 of them, CAC Holdings and 8 at number 1 Bekulin, Congo Cross. Then you have Sida, who is doing it for Bo and Kenema. So when we started, a lot of misgivings and a lot of other people who never believed anything that comes from government. They thought it was going to be a relationship because Emmanuel knows me, he can pick his call and just go and take 5 forms. But then you went there, you did not see the commissioner, not any other staff, not any other person. But you saw different people who are, this farm that we have hired. So that was done. We aided in the distribution of the forms. For the day we are done, we return to them. And they have done their compilation. They have done their sorting and now they have agreed. Now if you go to their place, the lists are now available. The 2,000 for Freetown is now available. And these young people you can reach their full names, their telephone contacts, their addresses, and all the rest of it. So it's difficult for you to even go into the system wrongly because you find it difficult.
Okay, continue to stay with us on the program is Ahmed Atata Mansare. He is the Commissioner for the National Youth Commission as they are set to distribute $300 million to 8,000 youth from age 18 to 35. When we move on to another issue, as the government has started the demolition of homes at the Black Johnson community. The demolition is part of a $55 million United States agreement with China to build and develop a fish harbor at the Black Johnson community. Last month, the Slbc covered the demolition and showed structures being taken down at Black Johnson Beach. Some residents and landowners have raised serious concerns. The Acting Director of Fisheries at the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources, Sheikh Hussein, has responded to allegations made by affected land and property owners at Black Johnson, where demolitions have recently taken place. Speaking on a morning coffee program on radio, Sheikh Hussein said the demolition was not a sudden move by the government, but a step that followed instructions from the Chinese authorities, who have plans to build a fishing harbor on the site. According to him, all due process was followed before the action was taken. First, let's take a story done by Emmanuel Samoa on the demolition exercise.
Beneath the blazing sun of Black Johnson community in Ward C, dust spiraled skyward, marking the hour-in start of a state-sanctioned demolition exercise. The Davis family were in tears, having realized that their alleged property is no longer theirs, but now belongs to the state. They were in tears because they alleged that they have neither been compensated nor given an other alternative for the property they once owned.
They not talk to we get legal land now. They not give for talk to we, no nothing. Until we hear more now see, then they can't go.
Before the commencement of the demolition exercise, the 3rd Brigade Commander of Western Area, Alslav Colonel Moriba M. Osoa, engaged the community on the specific roles of the assigned military officers, which is limited to protecting the proposed demarcated fish harbor land.
Government don't ready for can day, the people that don't ready for can do the job. Maybe sometime in September or November. In September. So they don't say we can secure the place. We not soldier them. Now order will take. We not get flower. Nobody.
During the engagement, the Black Johnson community head woman, Awana Tubla, and other community members expressed the similar sentiment of the Davis family. Awana Tubla said they were shocked to see the commencement of the work when none of their requests has been met.
I cry because not development so and it's like God has said this
At one of the resorts that falls among the demarcated fish harbor land, The owners were in tears, pleading for some time because 5 amongst their 10 chalet house will be demolished.
I say, I want to give you it now a week. But we know what they do. If I tell you, say right now, they very safe. I no go tell you like say we will do nothing under.
Responding to the claims, the Director of Surveys and Lands in the Ministry of Lands, Tamba Dauda, said they submitted the names of claimants who submitted the document of the property and their documents were verified to be legal.
The report with some, the list, the wire gets houses in there, but they not get document or the document not joining. Some of them wire gets joining documents, then documents are not falsified. Some of them not for joining, okay? So some people can get joining document and not even be allowed to say. So we submit all our reports there and tell them. Then we also identify the area we fall within the foreshore.
The acting director of fisheries at the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources, Sheikh Hussein, said they compensated those whose names were sent by the Ministry of Lands in their reports. Addressing the proposed benefit they would get as a result of the fish harbor, Sheikh Hussein told the people that all of their requests would be met as per the agreement signed when the fish harbor must have been completed.
Tell you for happy. The Community Development Action Plan, schools, hospitals, water, electricity, light get for dinner Black Johnson. The project document say for clear the land for us, let the one day we can build the harbor, make sure say that land we will say government don't get. It did it.
Both Tamba Dauda and Sheikh Hussein raised concern that plenty people continue to construct houses on the said property despite several warnings that the said land now belongs to the state. As the demolition exercise continues, the controversy that is yet to be resolved borders around compensation. Emmanuel Samura, SLBC.
Well, on the Black Johnson issue, we have in the studio the owner of Yankai Resort at Black Johnson is Abdullah Dumbuya. Good morning, Abdullah, and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning.
So let's start the conversation. You have a resort at Black Johnson community, and from reports, some part of it will be demolished. So as the owner of the resort, were you not informed that your property falls under the within the demarcated area?
No. They not inform me. And I'm not in a Black Johnson, na Big Water community meeting. Big Water community na day, I'm not in a Black Johnson. Because we make they talk you, na go permit me because I won't let anybody all my area which they say. Na Big Water community meeting. And I felt say I don't begin building now from 2013. You understand? If anything will happen, go to me for later, or you send me a letter, you write me a letter, because I feel say, Lord, this is not government business, law not take and personal. That I tell them, law not take and personal. If they write me a letter and an investment at the bar, get me document, a land document. Even we then tell me about that permit, I get permit, I take, I draw all my plans, go na council because I do everything, I pay property rate, everything. So I do all things where I feel say because council have na government. You understand? So I do everything because if I not do another they can't stop. And from where I start them building one day lands no go put stop there. You understand? And even the BNT where this Sheikh Hussein go, he say and Jalo one for see me. I ask I come na office to them now fisheries. I say Sheikh Hussein say you want to see me. They say me place the under that now say no. Now me na the focal person. They say from 2018 that this year happened from 2023. Now I say from 2018 I don't serve you a letter. I say no. Now I say you place no day. Mr. Lumwe, I go back. I go. 3 months later I come back. I can't ask her, Mr. Diallo. Me place no day na the fish pond. He say you place no day, they go back. Let that man not come make sure business. They don't know nothing about this project. That and they ain't not to be directorate, not to be acting directorate. You understand, sir? About 3 times I come there, my fishery, say me place no day, I go back and sit down quietly. Because I know the focal person for the project. Because they tell you, go to Mr. Jallo. Mr. Jallo say you place no day. All of a sudden, Thursday, we are sitting, go for go block my place. And as I say, that place there, I don't start out from where they action it. Me I drive and I action it. I drive with the director from Samusa item. From year 2000. So take come. me per diem, me salary, and the business wey me woman they do. I come together, begin build that place, the small. I they take workers, build and small. We I can't left 4 years now. I left actually. I'll transfer. I go did. I left ultimately I get NATO. I go the other side. I they do some people and say me no go able live there. Me woman say transfer with me. Say also I'm a man they afford it. We they nurture this business. So because if you see the building there, the other one I started 2013. That are the first phase. The other one I started 2017. That are the second phase. Because even this year we are felt say them go do them. They meet me at the place. Even some security then to me then me they sleep. The Chinese man there in Chinatown upside. Like we check say will be. Then I front will be then they sleep. Me I did na that side. Now the palm body now they be the sleep. Whilst they walk they go on. They can able to testify. So like all the things and the way they talk and so now, they so feels it knows it. I mean know exactly how I don't punish and me and my wife. We don't reach to that peak day. Where I feel say if you go there, where you see that place, now that make where the colonel go, where you watch the place, he say them tell me say na buffer there. They not tell me say na solid building in there. So we did about 10, 15 to 20 minutes with the talk. Mr. Sheku say no one agree say for that talk. Even the tell Colonel say, Colonel the mandate to them, you know, ask nobody enough for good. My Colonel say, Lord, turn the human face. He said, this is Sierra Leone. If you don't do so, let me know exactly what thing happen. You understand? So that take me back a canton to fisheries. The PSA them meet me on a table. Indoor rights tourism. I want to go to tourism. I meet Kwame Yang said. He said, no, they're not supposed to break down the tourism area. We don't do everything. Now then our website. You they pay dues. I say yes, sir. He said, well, he said yanda. He said they write me a letter. Wait a letter. He said, but to not reply because they are no foresee everything in our website, let them go there because they collaborate together. He said if they're not good, they write me a letter. I said, now that make me a no reply.
So Mr. Dumbia, I mean, yes, doing that daily
yes,
with that team body.
Yeah.
And this report with decision on the one.
Yes.
And Mr. Jallo when they talk about I say the focal person.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Jallo mean Didi.
Be Didi.
And I mean one person when they talk say you should fall under this particular side. We're doing that daily woman in another place. So here it gets everybody confused, anybody or favorite issue say who are they talk to, who are not they talk to.
Well, that's it. I asked Mr. Jallo before he face. I tell you, thank you, where you been good. I asked Mr. Jallo before he face. Mr. Jallo, where I been go to 3 times, you not tell me say me place did he say yes. He said, but government get right for broke any side way feel like broken. You remember before he left we go sit down under the mango stick. I asked him the question, Mr. Jallo, not to you tell me 3 times say me place no did he say yes. He said, but government get right for broke any side. He move. He passed by that banga stick, he go sit down. I turn and watch him, I shake me, I say, yeah. I said, this one. I say, look how this man, they talk to me, they like it today. Now play at the play, now joke at the joke, you been there. Where I feel say, the way I be the talk, even when the corner say, right now, you get for calm down. Because all side for me be there. Now just imagine you don't do that kind of thing there. Where you be there, I'm glad you where you there. You see me mood where I be there. You see me mood where me woman me there. So like all them things, they just unexpected. Because he asked me, if so, they're not informed me, I said,
where we be this morning, Sheku say we talk now morning coffee say this move where they make so not so solid move at all. Now thing where they don't inform una we get for partner that the marketed area say una for then they can broke it because governments don't that land in a Chinese and governments for go build fish about it.
No, me front in fish. I tell and say they not inform me at all. My brother be did it. I tell even Colonel say they're not inform me. No, they don't inform me at all. If you be inform me, I be for don't pull everything inside the building. But they not inform me. And nobody no go want for let put them thing and they for let them put them. Nobody no inform me. Colonel asked me, they inform me. I said no, they not inform me. Sheku say go there, a week ago, he killed 6 Lebanese they go there. But he not say down to me. Even he go there with one fellow, I mean don't sabi me, one friend, from the time where they go school, where be they doing good. You see me, watch for commit with Sheku say it's nobody. Not talk to nobody in this place here. The secret no liquor. Yes, Sheku say made that remarks the even me workers can testify that. When he say come on the ball, the fellow one come to he run after the fellow. The fellow say, Mr. Say, low we go. He said this man don't sabi him for long, over 15 years. You understand, man? So you see, if I see him, you see, I'm glad you want to see him, I go meet her. Because I'm a good person to me. If a rush go, the man say, okay, go, me get motorcar. Before that, me say, wait, he don't talk so, I not green the guy come near me. I say, give me woman the number. Later, so until we go talk. And since then, I not ever come out.
Okay, so continue to stay with us. He is Abdoulaye Doumbouya, the owner of Yankai Resorts, one of the areas, let me say disputed areas of the Black Johnson community, where the proposed fish harbour will be situated. Well, we go to our health tips. Our health tips for today, we look at CPR or cardiopulmonary resuscitation. It keeps a person's heart beating and provides continuous oxygen to someone who's collapsed and unresponsive. Before giving CPR, always call emergency services first and continue the cycle of CPR until help arrives. Watch and learn.
Cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or CPR, is a life-saving technique for someone who has collapsed, isn't responding, isn't breathing, and doesn't have a pulse. If you see this happen, call emergency services right away. Then you'll need to keep the person's heart beating and make sure they're getting oxygen until help arrives. Here's what to do. Number 1, position the person. Make sure they're lying on their back on a firm, flat surface. Number 2, check for breathing and pulse. If they're not breathing or don't have a pulse, start CPR. Place one hand over the other with the bottom hand's heel on the center of their chest, just below the nipples. For infants, use 2 fingers. For children up to 8 years old, use 1 hand. Number 3, perform chest compressions. Using your body weight and keeping your arms locked, push down hard about 2 inches deep. Let the chest rise fully before starting the second compression. Do a full set of 30 compressions quickly, about 100 to 120 per minute. It helps to follow the beat of a song like Stayin' Alive by the Bee Gees. Give 2 rescue breaths. After 30 compressions, pinch the person's nose, tilt their head back, lift their chin, close your mouth over theirs, and blow 2 normal-sized breaths into their mouth. Make sure their chest rises with each breath. If it doesn't, check to make sure nothing is in their mouth blocking their airway. Number 5, repeat. Continue this cycle of 30 compressions and 2 breaths until the person starts breathing on their own or emergency help arrives. The sooner CPR is given, the better the chances of survival. Keep this information handy in case there's ever an emergency.
Well, welcome back. I hope you and I have learned something basic like CPR, how to resuscitate someone. Well, we continue the program. We go to another headline story of us today, which has to do with the Anti-Corruption Commission. The Anti-Corruption Commission has, on the 27th June 2025, paid the sum of 12 million into the government's Consolidated Revenue Fund, account domiciled at the Bank of Sierra Leone, as funds recovered within the last 1 year. The ACC Commissioner Francis Ben Kaifala said the payment was part of the huge recoveries they have made in the last 7 years as part of the Commission's non-conviction based asset recovery approach. Some of the matters were also charged to the High Court and convictions were secured. The ACC said, in short, where public officials are involved, the said public official did not only lose their jobs, but also barred from holding public office for at least 3 years. Since June 2018 to date, the Commission has recovered over 76 million new loans from its non-conviction-based asset recovery model. It had also recorded huge gains in the areas of asset declaration, which compliance rate currently stands at over 90%, one of the highest in the continent of Africa. Well, in the studio to talk more on these funds, we have been joined by the Director of Public Education and Outreach at the ACC, Abubakar Tiri. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning.
Good morning and thanks for having me.
So we know that you guys, these monies that you paid into the government consolidated funds are monies that you get from people that must have involved in corrupt practices.
Yes.
So we know that you'll not be able to get all of the issues, but just in brief, what are some of those issues that the ACC got this particular 12 millions or 12 billion loans?
All right. Thank you very much. Like you stated in the press release that was issued on Friday, we paid 12 billion loans to the National Consolidated Revenue Fund, and which is the account of the government of Sierra Leone, domiciled at the Bank of Sierra Leone. Now, those monies once we recovered, as you said, from corrupt people, and then based on the investigations that we had in the last 1 year, and the funds, of course, included some that we recovered from investigations that we did that concerned certain commercial banks, which I don't want to name now because of obvious reasons, because part of the settlement agreements that we had was to maybe, of course, keep them from the from the public attention. So that is why I'm not naming them now, but most of you know about those cases, and it's because of the funds that we recover those from those cases that we got this money from. Still government's money and go scot-free. We'll make sure that we go after you, we recover that money, but again, what we've also done over the years is to ensure that we even institute a penalty. Like, for example, any recovery that is made, we ensure that we institute at least a 10% interest in the money that you stole or misappropriated. So, for example, if you steal 10 billion loans and we recover that money from you, we are also going to impose at least a 10% interest rate in that money. So it means you are going to pay another 100 million euros extra, for that money. So these are the measures that we continue to take. And of course, if you also know, based on the press release that you read, for those who work for government, if you are involved in these kind of cases, we'll also make sure that you lose your job. Not only lose your job, in some instances you are barred from holding public office for at least 3 years. So these are all deterrent measures to ensure that the people who are corrupt are really punished severely.
So ABT, looking at several news reports that came out the last 1 year as monies or funds that were alleged to have been missing, one might be saying this money that the ACC has paid to the government consolidated fund is somewhat maybe small as compared to the reports that we are getting the previous year with regard to misappropriation of public funds.
Okay, so again, remember that some of the monies we normally recover, we pay back to the institution those monies we are stolen from. Like, for example, the Freetown City Council case, we are recovering about 3 billion for them, and that money is going to be paid back to the Freetown City Council immediately after recovery. So these are monies that we are kept by the Commission, which are going to be paid to the Consolidated Revenue Fund, which is the basket fund of the government of Sierra Leone. But for some other recoveries that we've made over the years, we make sure that we pay back to the institutions from which those monies we are stolen from.
So ABT, these institutions, most of which will say, they are part of the government infrastructure.
We have taxes that we are supposed to be paid to the government of Sierra Leone. Whenever we recover some of those monies, we keep them and pay them later to the National Consolidated Revenue Fund.
Okay, so ABT, let's talk on this non-conviction based asset recovery model by the Anti-Corruption Commission. How has this helped in recovering these monies from these corrupt officials?
It has really helped a lot, because remember in the past we have situations where we cannot enter into some of these agreements. We cannot do some of these recoveries. Well, because there were no clearly spelled out provisions in the Anti-Corruption Act as it was then, as we have in the Anti-Corruption Act of 2008. But you remember in 2019 the act was amended, and now we have the Anti-Corruption Amendment Act of 2019. That act clearly provides for situations like this. We can recover monies from certain people, I mean from people who have stolen public funds or public revenue. So that is one of the things we have been really leveraging on, because for this one, if you steal government money, we can ask you to pay that money back, and we can even also decide to charge you to court. I mean, because of just...
When the SEC says let's go into a non-conviction based asset model, the person will just pay like half of that money. How is the model like?
No, so you pay the full money in the first place. You are required to pay everything full. It's still $12 million. You are going to pay the full $12 million. And we even go beyond that. We also institute at least a 10% penalty. So it means not only recovering that $12 million, but we also institute that 10%, which probably will give us like at least $1.2 million from the $12 million we've already recovered. So the $12 million we recovered, we also charge you, let me put it that way, we also charge you an extra $1.2 million, which you are going to pay back to the commission. So it is a very stiff penalty for us, and we think it has been really working well. And again,
for tell me to me, he say, "Let's see Mr. Diallo say you know for." Mr. Diallo in a part and parcel of the ministry, because I'm not the focal person. This number for me presently. If you were the lead the project, you see me not fall inside it. Let me go back. You understand? Later on, where you come now for can demolish replay, because I expect you guys the one that will build us. You write there. Me will build one only resort where I felt say I employ people there. You know, write me for later, tell me for say you place the inside the fish.
So you want to say they don't ever send any official letter to you?
They not ever, let them prove it, because let them check the archive. Because if you send letter to me, at least I go sign for the letter or neither again. You understand me? I don't tell people I beg do ya, when I beg them people they don't book them there. Let we come to go sit down at table, we come to conclusion. You understand? I repeat the same thing like una be the way I repeat to so we books and see in Africa with it. So like all the things a day, I just devoted to my prayer. Let us see exactly what think God they do for me. And like what una they interview me, so let people let me see. So tell so react people and go come down my age. You understand? Because in a way say okay. Because this one here, you don't spend so much time for let we see exactly how we go able, or neither government see, let we can see exactly how we go able to do, because for being one green host now in this country, it takes a lot, my brother. So tell you say 1, 2, 3. Even the coconut, waiting me see. I say sometimes the people that would not grudge. Even come they see don't under where I feel say go stop breeze all that, they broke all the root. All come they see don't under where I feel say go stop breeze all that, they broke all the root, all everything they play for us. Even most of them stick the day. You understand? So then I did the day. We are meet the day.
Okay. Sorts we hope that God will console you, and government will listen to your cry and plea. Thank you very much. Your cry and plea. Thank you very much for joining us in the program. Well, ABT, shortly, what will be your parting shot before we leave you?
So thank you very much. The National Revenue Authority investigation is going on, and currently we have staff of to the members of the public to continue to trust the leadership of the ACC, and let them know that we are there to work for the government and people of this country.
Okay, many thanks there to you, Abubakar.
The government and people of this country.
Okay, many thanks there to you, Abubakar Toure and Kush. Freetown pushes back. Town Hall sparks outcry over Capital's proposed division. Dr. Bangura's swift action revive critical legal link sparks up in Loko and Kayana District. Well, this stories and many more you can find on the Premier newspaper.
Well, the first one I have here is the Awoko newspaper, and it's open with the banner headline that says UNDP backs Sierra Leone's push for first ever sovereign credit rating. Daniela Boyma makes history. Dedicates Miss Albinism Africa crown to children with albinism. Ma Bubani to Africa. Shift from Sierra Leone's civil registration system. This story is possible. Get in our newspaper.
And next speaker Standard Times and banner headline says Pujan Hospital medical supplies nurse dragged to court. Businesswoman justifies against travel agents alleged tickets fraud. These stories and many more you can find on the Standard Times newspaper.
And the next one I have here is the Pyramid newspaper, and